Well, we can have a chat now to one of the stars of that win for the Stormers and a man who's won just about every award going in the URC over the past year or so. Stormers and Springbok back rower Evan Roos joins us. How are you, mate?
How's it, guys? Happy to be on. So cool. It was so surprised when I saw the message from you guys. So flipping, yeah, really excited about it.
Yeah, it's class to have you on. Is that because your coach, John Dobson, he's a super fan of the show? Like he said, it's been his guilty pleasure for years. Has he given you an idea and a flavour of what this is?
No, I just asked him this morning quickly before team meeting if it's fine I can use the team room because the Wi-Fi is a bit shocking in my room. And then he said, yeah, sure, but he didn't ask about podcast. So I'm going to surprise him afterwards.
It'd be all over
Yeah,
you.
mate. He will be. He's a great man, isn't he? Well, let's talk about him quickly then, because obviously he's your head coach. He came on our podcast last year, and we'll get into the nuts and bolts of you in a bit. But what a bloke, eh? He loves a beer as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he mixes it up well. People always ask me about it, and I kind of say like brings the kind of like normal old club rugby into the kind of the professional game, and it yeah, like you can say what you want, but I feel you get to know someone better over a beer, just just to cool down a bit and take the edge off things. And he incorporated well. We train hard and do all those things that are needed. But yeah, when it's time for social, he always goes out of his way and puts in extra effort and makes touring especially fun for the boys. So yeah, we really appreciate that about him.
What about the URC as a whole in terms of what you make as a young lad? Challenging? I mean, and I say that because I'm looking at your stats and looking at how well it went for you last year. How are you finding it?
GRC, I enjoy it. It's obviously I never got to experience Super Rugby, but it's it's awesome playing against like obviously all these Northern Hemisphere teams with their stars. A lot of international, so you kind of get to measure yourself against the best. And but the whole thing, the way the final was done down there in Cape Town and stuff, it's quite special, and it was special to be part of the first one and actually winning the first one. And I think, and the people are kind of getting onto it now. People are very stuck in their ways about Super Rugby back in South Africa, moaning about that we how we left it and whatever. But this year, especially all my mates, they're a bunch of students, keeping asking me for tickets and and stuff because they just want to come watch, and they enjoy it. And there's like this whole party stand at Cape Town Stadium where all it's a bit cheaper and all the students sit there and stuff. So that's quite fun for me because most of my friends are students, so I see quite a few familiar faces in the stands. And yeah, so I think it'll only get better with time.
You've got the Heineken Champions Cup to look forward to as well this season, which is an unbelievable competition that we've been privileged to win a few times. How much are you looking forward to playing in that and testing yourself against the best in France and England as well as the URC teams?
That's gonna be massive. Yeah, I've never thought of playing there this early. Like, well, I always think when you maybe go overseas, one day you'll get to to a Premiership club or whatever and play in the Heineken Cup. And now being in the South African team, playing in the Heineken Cup, yeah, it's weird. Like I never thought it would have happened. But I'm happy it does. It's yeah, and then you kind of get to measure yourself against the Prem teams and the top 14 teams, and just more world class players. So us as the Stormers are excited. It's going to be a massive squad effort, obviously, coming in with rotations and stuff, because I think it's 40 odd games this year, Heineken Cup and URC included and Curry Cup. So it's going to be a long one, but obviously we're very excited.
And on that, your first game in the Heineken Champions Cup is Clermont away, which is one of the most unbelievable stadiums in Europe. The history of it, Jim's played there, I've played there. The noise is phenomenal. To experience French rugby, we know a lot of South Africans. Jim and I played there in France as well. I played with a number of South Africans over in France. It's going to be special for you as well, isn't it? 'Cause it'll be the first time you played over in France.
Yeah, definitely. It's also going to be the first time I've ever been in France. So can't wait. And a lot of people told me about that stadium. A few of the Springboks in camp told me about that stadium, and they said it's just unbelievable. And the atmosphere, as you said. So as us Stormers, can't wait to for those games. It's going to be something special.
I mentioned in Springboks, made your debut. How has that been? I imagine a hugely proud moment, but as a young man being in that environment with these stars, just give us a snapshot of what that was like.
No, it honestly felt like a dream come true. But it still felt like a dream. It was quite weird for me, getting the nod now you're gonna be starting on 8 this week and stuff. And it didn't feel real until I climbed on the bus on the way to the game and just seen, because Bloemfontein's a very like Afrikaans, predominantly Afrikaans town, and seeing all these people with their braais and stuff parked next to the stadium, and the kids running next to the bus, just excited for this game. And it's a you always see it on TV, but you never think it will happen to you. And luckily, my family was in the stadium as well, because I'm quite tight with my family, and they calm me down and when the nerves get too much. And they were coincidentally, there's tickets were where we warmed up on the side. We warmed up in the corner. I warmed up, so I knew they were there, so they calmed me down. And and the game obviously we lost, but I mean it was such a thrill. The adrenaline pumped. I was just off of I got off halftime. They took me off at halftime, but I took like, I think two scoops of pre at halftime and like caffeine gum. So I don't know what was going on. So I was buzzing, and then I was off after 6 minutes. And then I think Joseph, whoever sat next to me, I chatted his ear off for the rest of the minutes because I had so much adrenaline in me, I couldn't hold it in.
And who are the players in that squad that you've looked up to? I mean, there are some superstars in that team, not just in South Africa, but globally. Who are the ones where you're like, right, yeah, he's a rock star?
Evan, it's a bit really, if I ever need something, any help, any, how can I say, like advice or whatever, he's always keen. Sia also always helpful, asks me if I'm fine, if I need anything. And Andre was captain that game, and he also sent me a message the night before the game, just told me that I'm there for a reason and I should just do what I do, and that's why they chose me. And they have him and all the guys like Evan and stuff have my back, and I shouldn't stress about things. So, but the whole team, like Stephen, obviously with me at the Storm, is also such a great guy and always supports me and stuff. So
you mentioned your family being there to calm you down before you get on the pitch. Is there anyone that's been designated to calm you down when you're on the pitch? Because you're getting a bit of a reputation there, Evan.
Not Eben.
Yeah,
Eben's fuel in the fire. I love it.
It's a funny one. Obviously, the season has got its new challenges. Looks like guys want to kind of get under my skin to get me off my game. I take it as a compliment, obviously, because they see me as a threat, if I can put it in a sense like that. But funny. Like it's a fine line, obviously, and it's a physical game and stuff. And I try to control the aggression, but it is rugby and it is a collision sport, and I'll never do anything faulty, that I can promise you. But I always play as aggressive as I can, and because it is rugby, and after the 80 minutes we can have a beer afterwards. But first get the job done. But hopefully people don't see me as that and see me for how I can play.
That's exactly what happened to me, Goody. That was the same as me. People saw me as a threat. They wanted me out of there.
I don't think they did, Jim.
Well, I kind of think that was it.
I think what happened with you, Jim, is you realised you were shit, so you could only fight. So that's what you did. But Evan, let's talk about the Springboks. Obviously, you played that game. You were disappointed not to be involved in the Rugby Championship, but obviously there's a winter tour coming up in November with some massive games. Have you had contact with Jacques Nienaber and our mate Rassie Erasmus? Because obviously it looks like a brilliant place to be in, and we love Rassie. He's back on the touchline, hopefully for the November tours as well. Maybe not doing the water, but have they been in contact with you? Because you've started the season exceptionally well, haven't you? And on bang on form.
The last time we chatted, they talked about obviously taking the SAA team and the Springbok team over, because there's, I think, 2 midweek games against Munster and Bristol, and they say they're taking about 48 to 50 odd players. So I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but the chats were that the guys who didn't get too much game time in the championship and stuff will get chance end of the year, and it might be SAA or the BOKS. I'm not sure. So I don't want to say yes, I'm going, but hopefully it looks like it if they stick to the same 40 or 50 players they chose in the beginning of the year. So and if I do get the opportunity, obviously I'll take it with both hands, and just play and stuff, and it'll be a massive honor once again. But yeah, time will only tell. We can see. I think they're announcing it in the next few weeks or so. Then we'll know for sure.
Yeah, and wearing the number 8 jersey in years gone by is Dwayne Vermeulen, and you've got another guy who's one of the formates in the world in Jasper Wiese as well. Like, how much are you taking from their game into your own game? You'll probably want to be your own player, but we're talking about 2 world-class number 8s there as well.
No, obviously you bang spot on there. We kind of play a bit different games. Obviously, Dwayne and Jasper kind of play the same game for me, and got a bit more of a running game in me, but it's not a bad thing to learn that kind of art of rugby, especially for test rugby, because it's going to be needed, because the difference between test level and club level is obviously there is a massive gap, and there isn't so much space and opportunity, so you have to develop the other side of your game. So definitely take into consideration and look how they do things, so I can improve that part of my game. But in saying that, not lose what I do and what makes me the player I am.
And I'm always interested to know, someone that's been coached by Rassie Erasmus and been involved around him. We absolutely love him on the podcast. I'm friends with him. I messaged him on social media. We see his dancing on social media as well. Do the lads obviously see it, right? Is anyone in the Springbok camp brave enough to give him a bit of banter around it, or is it all just nod and say, yes, Rassie, you're the best dancer in the world?
I assume he won't. People haven't even haven't openly given him banter about it. I'm not sure if like people have done it one-on-one, but I'm not planning to at all. I want to stay in his good books. I want to stay in his good books. Sorry.
That means the lads are all sharing it, aren't they? They're sharing it on WhatsApp, saying, "Have you seen our coach? He's an absolute legend."
But those videos are fun. I enjoy it when he puts them on and stuff. It's cool, and it's also lightens and brightens things up and takes the edge off things when things seem to get a bit intense and stuff. So I enjoy the videos.